Hello, everyone. Welcome back to everyone's favorite series on the Pinwheel YouTube channel, Super Social Commentary. Today we're going to be talking about episode 5 of the third season, Premium. Now, I'm not sure what the general consensus on this episode or the episodes in general are, but I honestly think this one is my favorite episode so far. Which is weird considering it comes right after my least favorite. I just think it has a really good premise, a decent challenge, which is, somewhat botched in execution, but it has a lot of strengths to go around. Episode 9, and to an extent 8, are probably more well-written and have more character things that make sense. I don't know why I said character things. Character interactions that make sense. But this episode still has a special place in my heart. It's the first one that's over 10 minutes, and I feel like it's a lot of charm to it. But enough with my rambling, let's get on to it. Oh yeah, also, this is the first episode that used Undertale music. I felt I should mention that. Also, this was probably the episode's first experiment with the new mouths. Episode 4 had this type of style of mouths too, and I think 3 did as well. But this is when I first, used it the most, because I still use, the oval, filled-in mouths, just normal smiley faces. This is, when I started fully embracing what I wanted SSS's style to be. And I feel like this was the episode to do that for. Yeah, that's kind of it. Also, this scene's probably one of my favorites of just the entirety of the show. In fact, it's one of the only pieces of the show that's gotten fan art drawn of it. It's actually really good fan art, too. I really love the way it looks. I'll see if I can find it later, but yeah, this was just a great scene to just write out and draw. And the music, I just really wanted to use this music too. Toby Fox is such a talented composer. This is just, it's slightly out of character. If we're looking at what Sodi did the last episode, she was kind of a prick for that matter, but I feel like she pulled it out by doing this. Funny fourth wall joke, except this one actually is kind of okay because, it's never really commented on in the show's universe of how just dull the backgrounds are until probably this scene. I really like using the term "my guy." I should probably use that in episodes more. Okay, as much as I love this scene, I feel like its execution is botched just because it considers Pinky to be at fault for last episode. I know that's what I said last time in the commentary show, but come on, my man was just trying to protect his friend, and that seems weird to Warpy. He's like, do you expect him to not be caring for you? Is that just what you think of him? Now I see why some people don't like Warpy as much as I thought. Yeah, he's a popular character, but there seems to be a lot of hate for him sometimes. And I feel like this is an aspect of that, which I feel like could have actually saved his character if it just made more sense as to why he was upset at Pinky, or at least confused by his actions. And Pinky learned his lesson, so I don't feel like this was really much to go off of in terms of worthy of this entire scene happening, really. I could be easily rambling right now, But some parts about the scene, as much as I like it, are just, they poke out to me in a lot of ways. Exactly, he's kind of a weird fellow. He's just a little guy, and this shouldn't really be too much of a problem for Warpy. Yeah, my man. Okay, the kind of unfocused part I can get behind, but possessive is a bit of a strong word, my man Warpy. I don't feel like I should have used that word. I could have said he was weirdly attached. That's a kinder way to say possessive. This was probably the defining character moment for Sodi as the therapist. She didn't really do much up to this point besides just kind of be a straight man to Gusher. And I feel like this is the part where she really came into her own, which sucks because she was eliminated this episode, but it was nice to see nonetheless. And I feel like, I'm pretty sure at the time Sodi was my favorite character to use, so I don't know why I pretty much gave her no personality beyond just being a nice person in general. So I feel like this was a good enough episode to do that with, especially with my boxed execution of her in episode 4. I really feel like this is a message that some people should know. Because, like, some people feel like they have such complex emotions, and that's not to say they don't have complex emotions. But with so many people in the world, there's gonna be people who feel the same way as you, not otherwise. And I feel like I never really hear that too often. It almost feels like everyone's going through something different, yet similar at the same time. And I feel like this was kind of projecting into this episode in that way. I don't know. But this line is kind of, I like it. I never got anywhere else to be. I'm pretty sure Milkshake said something about that line. I'm not sure what exactly I was envisioning when I wrote that line in. I never got anywhere else to be. It could easily be referring to TGBB, and that's what I was thinking at the time, because she never had a place to be when she was in that game arena. But, you know, it's okay. It's okay. I'd also like to point out that these two are one of my favorite Object Show. That's pretentious. These are one of my favorite duos I've ever made. Pre-Cracked Sodi, I feel like they had a great chemistry with each other. Not in a, kind of way, but in a, kind of way. I just like these two as a pair. Yeah. Although the show is kind of infamous for its duos and pairs. I mean, Sodi and Gush, Conester and Gush, Lemon and Jambo, Jambo and Gush, Lemon and Gush. To be honest, Gush is just kind of a very charismatic character. He can kind of get along with anyone and make it interesting. Even like a character you wouldn't really think would be interesting with him, like Cup or Snowy Squarey. He'd probably pull it off. He kind of carries that dynamic. Also, this might seem weird by making it canon that the sus objects canonically piss and shit. When they're eating, it has to go somewhere, And to be fair, Pin vomited in BFDI 1B, So I don't feel like saying that they shit and piss is too off the table. Also, this was the first episode where I really experimented with, like, the ACN style, or just with expressions in general, because, like, coming up, that's kind of what happens. And this expression for Gush right here, I guarantee that's from something that I just don't know about. Also, I'm pretty sure Milkshake requested for Coney to watch cat videos in this episode. Don't worry about it, since when has Warpy been missing for long? I really feel like I could have done more with this line. I could have made it canon that he just has these meltdowns, and he goes off for like 5 minutes, and then just come back completely okay after. Yes! Warpy and Pink are another one I really like, because they actually started really early on. I'm pretty sure it was probably like one of the first duos ever formed. It was like episode 3, I think, of the first season, where they first started getting along with each other. Actually, it might have been episode 2, because they were both the first safe. Dang, they really go back the farthest out of these guys, and I really like that about them. Well, actually, canonically speaking, Gush and Sodi go the farthest back, but that's another story. Now, Tilly, at this time, was probably my least favorite character to write overall. I like him now. I feel like I like everyone now, though, so that's not really a fair comparison, but at the time, I just did not like using him as, like, being a good person. I'm pretty sure I was projecting some bias to get him out. And you could say that's why he's got out this episode, but I like to think that this was probably the perfect point for him to leave. He realized his mistake this episode, he gets out this episode, and then takes it easy until episode 9, where he really gets his moment of redemption. And I feel like that's really cool. And I feel like it was kind of good for his character overall. So, Teely in this episode at the start, kind of weird, but, nothing really out of the ordinary for him. We love the two kings being together, one of them sticking up for one another. If you don't know, I really like Jamie and Pinky. I think they're some of my favorite characters to write. Also, they're both just very fun to use in general. Like, I love drawing the both of them. Like, I don't draw much off digital art, but if I have a pen or pencil and paper, chances are I'm going to draw those two and a couple more after that. They're just so fun. I love them. It's funny, she said the title. Okay, Gusher has a lot of these hit and miss jokes, but I feel like this one's pretty okay. My man. Deserved, to be honest. Now, I don't dislike people who like Teely. Different strokes for different folks. That's just how things work. Not everyone's gonna have the same opinion as me, especially when I'm the person who makes the show. So, I feel like this was probably one of the only natural progressions I could have made to make him a well-developed character. Because, I'm not a huge fan of the archetype of just complaining about being in a joke show and having haters and stuff like that. I mean, I started it that way, but I'm older and I've matured. Teely is going to become a lot more three-dimensional instead of just ah ha 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 ha. I have so many haters. You should all vote me off right now. And the thing is that it worked too. He did get some mileage off of it. But this scene I like it. Coney needed development for her because generally I see that she's a boring character to some. And nothing wrong with that. That's kind of why episode 9 was given to her. But bam, Coney and Teely development in the same episode. Also, this elimination is probably the weirdest for me. I'll explain why in a second. So, I'm pretty much just making it canon that SC knew where they were, but just let them finish because he was bored. I feel like that's something he would absolutely do. So this is what I was saying. This is the only elimination where I have no clue what the total amount of votes were and what even the first person safe was. So it's right here, 27 and 26 votes. That would make it seem to be that Gusher and Pinky were the first two people safe. But in reality, Warpy got 32 or 33 votes to his name. A good couple more than Gush and Pinky. And Sodi, I'm pretty sure, got 22. So overall, Warpy, that's kind of why I had that line in episode 9 where I said it was Warpy's first time in the bottom 2, just to sort of give you some insight to, yeah, he was first safe again, again. As for Sodi, I feel like this was probably the most decent time for her to get out. I mean, I can't really imagine anyone else rejoining but her. Not Teely because he just got out. Not really Sticky because I feel like she would work better as kind of just SC's minions. And the same goes for Sandy, and Snowy probably had no chance anyway. So, yeah, I feel like Sodi getting out here and Teely, this was probably the most natural episode for that kind of thing. I appreciate it for that. Why is there never a person at the counter for these things? Yeah, they're at a Dairy Queen. I'm making it canon that that's their hot spot for when they just want to chill out from the competition. I mean, from the 2.5 months to 3 months that episode 9 took, they must have had a lot of Dairy Queen. He's completely gobsmacked. ACN reference. And then you got my boy Pinky being all happy about it. And he's absolutely pissed. Also, yeah, I'd like to mention one thing about Jammy. I'd say 90% of the time, Jammy's only on screen to make people uncomfortable. Not just the people watching, but just in universe too. he's pretty much just like one of his most defining character traits for me is just sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. And I feel like with how time went on and just how weird his role became to be the comic relief with dry humor and just really weird line delivery too. I feel like that's kind of what made me grew past this really whole sarcastic phase with him, because this was kind of how he was. I know this is kind of out of nowhere, but Jamie's just standing here alone in this scene. I mean, if I go back right here, he actively made the conflict somewhat worse by influencing Coney to make her remark, and then he just dipped back once it got too heated. That's kind of what I mean by this. I kind of made his character kind of like that later on, and I feel like it was a really good character change for him, because he probably would have just devolved to Sarcasm Man, the guy who's always sarcastic all the time. I don't know. Jamie's character is a weird one for me, but I love the dude. Another thing about this episode is that it keeps things simple, even with a lot of complex situations going on. Like, you got Teal and Coney being all, like, at each other's throats somewhat. You got, Warpy, Pinky, and Sody being all like, oh, what the frick? You got Gusher having to deal with all of them, and the loss of his best friend at the time. Jamie kind of just influencing the entire thing to fall through. And, I mean, the other one, I'm assuming there's someone I'm missing, just kind of being off to the side. I'm just assuming I'm missing someone. I don't know if I actually am. Anyways. And then just have a quiz. Like, we could have had a decent challenge, but I feel like this is probably just, like, the most boring I could have made it. And in a lot of ways, that makes it good in its favor. But, you know, it doesn't change the fact that a quiz is really boring. Yeah, this was like a weird decision for me to make. I don't know why I just temporarily disbanded teams for this one episode and then split them, like, the next. Well, to be fair, it wasn't the next. It was, like, after the next. Okay, I'm pausing for pretty much nothing at this point. I just like how Jamie is drawn here. Okay, this arc is one of my favorites in the entire show. The tunnel vision scenes were so fun to do, man. I have so much fun with these eliminated characters. It gave more chances for pretty much unnoticeable characters who just blended into the background, like Senity, or in, strangely, some cases, RAB, to get some more screen time. I mean, to be fair, RAB basically got no screen time whatsoever, but, I mean, it's not my fault, really. Anyways, yeah, these two are awesome. I fucking love them. Sorry for the F word, but I have to express my feelings in a lot of ways. And I feel like Gumdrop B, despite the fact she's slowly regaining I cannot speak English, what she once had, she's still a generally hated character in the community, and I'm hoping with Season 4 that hopefully changes. Same with Sticky, because, like, Sticky is just, like, unneedlessly hated against, dude. Like, you can't just get out 4 times and still have fans by the end of it. It's just not how it works. Also, that was a playful calling of her an idiot. They are not lesbians for each other, but they would not stoop that low. Also, yeah, I'm making it canon that season 2 took place in the TLC. The eliminated characters were in there. Don't ask why Pinky didn't even think to escape in that regard. That's just my fault, actually. I'm paused. You see, it's playful now. They are besties in disguise. That's just kind of how it's going now. I love these two so much. Also, the progression of Gumdroppy being the one to get up all in her face and Sticky not caring to it being the other way around felt super natural, but still feels super weird for some reason, because Sticky is a generally composed character. Like, she generally just goes with the flow and doesn't really break stride. But when Gumdroppy calls her a dum-dum, you better watch out. Oh yeah, my man, getting some needed screen time. Sunny's also one I really like to use. I'd been meaning to give him more screen time as the series has gone on, because like episode 7, I pretty much gave him nothing, and before that, that's the same story. I do feel in general he was actually really good in episode 2. I feel like him displaying to actually try to win first team was really good, but them shooting him down just made sense in general. I mean, I still don't like how he only got 7 votes to be saved. I respect who voted to save Cindy in episode 2. You're all in my debt, really, but, yeah, this scene was pretty much like one of the only Cindy scenes in the first half of the season. And that says a lot about his character. But yeah, he's my man. I love him. Damn, we're not even halfway. This is also the first display of Sanity's ball powers. Don't ask why they're called that, but this was at a period of time where I kind of just wanted to get quirks out of these characters, because, like, Bluey Lightning, you can't name much besides, oh, he won Season 2 as, like, general trivia. So I made him 9 years old, because that makes sense. And he doesn't like cooties, so that makes even more sense. So I pretty much just gave Sodi the most overpowered ability in the entire show. Like, he can make these bigger or smaller to just anyone's pure annoyance. Like, he could shoot, like, pebbles at you, and you just have to deal with it. Or he could shoot meteorites at you. Depending on how you're feeling, of course, how kinky it gets, really. I'm doing it in real life, but I just realized you can't see it, but I'll just move past that. I love him. I love Bluey Lightning. Much needed Blueberry screen time. Did you know, on average, Blueberry has, like, the lowest scoring... Okay, I don't know what I was saying. Highest scoring performance, generally, in-game. I mean, if we're being fair and only counting 2 seasons, which generally almost everyone at this point had been in, I mean, besides Bluey and, Cup. Okay, I'm just gonna move past this because I think I just spoiled a bunch of Season 4. Okay. So, this was a reference to a somewhat old video by Metchup Mustard, the absolute Chad himself, where Amphibia parody dialogue was put over SSS characters. RAB was King Andreas and Sticky was Marcy, and King Andreas was telling like a story of the time he used to be a barista before becoming the king. And it was basically just a back and forth of just like him kind of teasing and bullying her, and her just being like, okay, yeah, sure, pretty awesome, man. So that's why these two are the ones that are in the scene, and why RAB was a barista. I think it's a cute reference. I think more people should have noticed it, to be fair. You know, I feel like Coney would absolutely be the one to keep track of that. If there's a person you hate enough, you pretty much notice most of the stuff they do. I mean, that's my mindset anyway. Most people I don't like, I just pay attention to them more than the average person. But yeah, this still 5 times, dude. How long did he think he was gonna get away with this? Convenient way for Warpy to be safe. Also, this is like the first interaction between Sody and Sticky, and they're not even like near each other at all. They're in like completely different zones. Sticky, I find it funny that just Sody would be like, so how's Sticky? What's she like? Like, that feels kind of cute, but also kind of weird. Like, why would you want to know about her, about people, and why? Also, I love how the defining thing that Warpy knows about Sticky is just that she hates cringe culture. Bro, what the f... That was such a weird frame. Amazing. Okay, so this was before every single thumbnail changed. At this point, it was just the normal, like, character pose and the numbers for premium, and how it is now still is just like, you know. Wait, hold on. So, I've never changed, the first couple episodes, thumbnails, that's the word. The only one I've actually changed was Season 2, Episode 1. Hold on. I'm gonna find the playlist on a different device, and I'm gonna tell you guys how many appearances Blueberry makes. Alright, let's see. Episode 1, Episode 4, Episode 7, Episode 2, Episode 4, Episode 6, Episode 8, Episode 9, and now Episode 8 and Episode 9 yet again. So let's count. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8, 10 thumbnails out of like 20 something episodes. That's pretty high. I'm also gonna count up Warpy just to be sure. 1, 2, 3, Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3, Episode 4, Episode 6, Episode 7, Episode 2, Episode 5, Episode 8. Okay, So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's just one less than Blueberry. Warpy appears in a lot of thumbnails too. Also, sorry for that super long tangent. Okay, I know in my most recent community post, or at least one of them, I said Blueberry was a second placer. That is not true. Them and Tealy tied for third. That's one of those trick question thingies. I just like that line. We love a man who will win for a girl. Not even simpage. That's just really cool. Also, these two, I feel like could have had a good rivalry after episode 4, but, you know, shit happened. I didn't even realize that at the time. That just feels really sad. Because, like, first guy chosen, the last guy chosen, they hate each other now. Man. That was actually really cohesive. I really like this, actually. And it also shows that Pinky is capable. He's a good player. I like that. Also, just casually define gravity, Pinky. I feel like this is really only a somewhat heartwarming scene because of the funny Toby Fox Undertale music. That's just more warpy torture. Worst episode, 1 out of 10. Calm and composed. Good person right there. But why didn't Tealy stay out then? At first I was planning him, I'm pretty sure at this stage I was planning for him not to be a part of the rejoin, just because he had just gotten out, but I think some way into episode 6 I was like, yeah, sure, he can come back. Yeah, sure, he can get another chance. Of course, it's gotta be jamming, stick his nose like, so, what are those viewers gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna just say my opinions on each of the debuers, since they're not my characters. Let's go. Literally one of my favorite ones. I love red plastic cup full of orange juice that expired 3 months ago. It tastes pretty bad. By SeaWorld. Bro, there's no point, bro. Literally the personality SeaWorld listed was just dispersed. 9 out of 10 character. I'll just say a number out of 10 for them. Before Party's unfortunate downfall, they were Candy's animation station. Now they are not. So sad, really. But Candy, probably one of my favorite designs I've ever made for an SSS character. And also, I feel like there's a lot of potential for her outside of the show. Like, I was planning her for like me and Delouse talked about giving her like a cooking show to make, and she just makes really awful things and then just cries on the floor when someone doesn't like it. And then just the camera keeps rolling for like 5 minutes afterwards, and it's just silence by accompanying whistles of despair. I don't think you whistle when you despair, but you get my drift. 8 out of 10. Diary of a Wimpy Kid reference. Also, this is the first time the near full version of Holmes All at Once plays. It usually only plays for like 20 seconds at the end of each episode before it, but here's it in its entirety here, and we probably got copyrighted. Generally weak design, but, you know, I feel like this guy could have been really fun. So the main gimmick was just that he gets really excited to the point where he faints all the time. I think. I don't know. Either that, he was just really excited all the time. I feel like that would be a good character trait, though. You just faint whenever you get too happy. 7 out of 10. These two are like fan favorites, I'm pretty sure. At least for the debuter standards. 9 out of 10. Bowling Ball is a really cool guy, and Cup is a really cool girl. They balance each other out. Firestick was actually the only character that was requested to change after I made the episode. Because the person who recommended them changed OCs, and Firestick was no longer needed after that point. I mean, I'm still kind of skeptical about having the failed debuters getting much screen time after this point, but, you know, it was nice knowing Firestick. I'm pretty sure it was like Hedge, like the bushes stuff that they're supposed to be replaced by. So if you see that, then that's probably who Firestick was. Anyways, 8 out of 10. I really liked Firestick and their design. Also, Firestick's a male, I'm pretty sure. I feel like they could have been mistaken for a girl or even non-binary, but I'm pretty sure I made like a gender chart at one point, but I think it might have gotten deleted. Oh yeah, literally only a piece of paper. He's actually really popular, or I actually don't remember, in my Discord. They're like really popular, and I don't know why. A lot of people really like them. Receipt. I love Receipt. They're pangender, I'm pretty sure, and they like she pronouns. But I just said they like she. But Receipt, I really like Receipt. I definitely could have done more with her design, though. It's so blank and bare. It just looks weird. You can make out the words Walmart and then some number. Awesome. But, I feel like Receipt and Sodi would either be besties or absolutely fucking hate each other. Either way, it's going to be entertaining. Also, 8 out of 10. I love Receipt. It's the guy! By Spooky Seth. Or Jesus Seth. Two Chucks having sex. Lemon Demony. The absolute gamer Chad that everyone knows and loves. Also, you know how this guy was supposed to be a comedian? Like, that was one of his main character tropes. Tries to be funny, but isn't. Actually made him one of the funniest characters, which I think is even more funny. Oh, wait. Freaking bread dunked in cheese. I love this guy so much. Whoever recommended Quentin Ultra Speaker Creations, you're an absolute G, my guy. Absolute 10 out of 10 character. I love bread dunked in cheese. I also just like using the sketchpad eye, so it works out for me. I feel like a lot more people liked Purple Nickel with arms than they should have. Yeah, it was recommended by Teal Balloony. Or Teal Snowball, Giant Snowball, whatever his fucking name is. Teal Balloony. Yeah, Giant Snowball. Awesome. Freaking amazing. The only guy who got 0 votes was him. Greeny Squarey, of all people, did not gain a single was not liked a single bit. I'm sorry, Spooky Animations. Generic name for a generic character. Also, 7 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Yeah, 6. Upside down glass of apple juice, how? Freaking 5 out of 10. I hated the redesign I made for them. I should really redo that. Ram card. Pretty generic, not gonna lie. 6.5 out of 10. I really like their design I made for them. I feel like that's one of the best ones. Literally no one liked your Drywall after this episode came out. It was like just a hate group against this dude. And it sucked. I liked him. The absolute G, thick pen plush. Oh wait, I forgot to say pen plush's rank. It's like a 6 out of 10. Oh, Dust Bunny, Fur the Furry. I completely forgot about you for a bit. I'm sorry, but you're really cool. Dust Bunny, I think, had some potential if I actually utilized them. Yeah. 5 out of 10. Sorry. Thingy! Oh my god. Thingy has probably the most history of any of the failed debuters. In like August 2021, like last year. Maybe even a bit longer than that, actually. Maybe it was like July even. I pulled an all-nighter in a Discord call where I grabbed random objects off the internet, just like 5 random object OCs off the internet. Thingy happened to be one of them, and quickly became one of the most beloved characters of that Discord call. Like, I even made a community post about it at the time, where I won with like one of Pancakes and Butter's characters. I won with one of them, but Thingy lived on in everyone's hearts after that point. So they're absolutely the most woke character in this franchise. 11 out of 10. I even mentioned it in their debut. I'm an inside joke. Y'all don't get me. Also, Potato with a Hat, 4 out of 10. Magic Wand. I'm pretty sure this was SGGV's old username. Shadow Gaster Ghost Void. And I think that's pretty cool. Also, it's canon that Magic Wand is trans. I never mentioned it, but she is. Valid, 8 out of 10. Seed is an absolute sweetheart. I love her. Like, 9 out of 10. So fucking adorable. He's the bad guy. 8 out of 10. You're British. That's really awesome. 8 out of 10. I hate that asset so much. But 9 out of 10. 10 out of 10, actually. You're really cool. Baby HY Cone is one of my favorite characters I've ever created. They're just so tiny. And I love it so much. Also, the shading is actually really decent. I like this one. Oh yeah, football. That was the first person that ever recommended to me, actually, to send their asset in. That's why football is the only one who does not have a black outline. Fun fact. Eyes. Jello pop. Okay, you're like, okay, I guess 7 out of 10. I feel like this character gets too much love, even for a debuter. It's just complaining most of the time about being the old profile picture. Yeah, it's a funny gimmick for like 10 seconds. 6 out of 10. OZQ! Also, I'm sorry, OZ, but you and Tangy were added like last minute in. I was only planning for the 26 to be debuters, just because it felt, natural. That's how BFDI did it. But I added 2 more because I felt like it was only fair. Also, this asset is really bad. 10 out of 10. Also, these drawings do not hold up that well. Some of them do. Like, Firestick looks pretty decent. But, like, Lemon Demonies is just... does not blend in well. Thingies just looks... ooh. Thingies is a bit of a different story. I also think I layered bowling ball wrong after this point. Yeah, bowling ball just disappears after this point. I completely forgot about them. Alright. So this episode, again, I already said it's one of my favorites, if not my favorite, of the entire show. And I still stand by that, even after rewatching it for a little bit. I still think there's a lot of charm in this episode, a lot of good character interactions, a lot of ones that started new character interactions and arcs. I feel like this was one of the most perfect setup episodes I could have done. And I really hope you guys like this one, especially when I first made it. Because I think it gained like 1,000 views within a couple of hours. And it's still one of the most popular episodes, I'm pretty sure. How many? 2.5k. That's decent for this season. If I had to give this episode a ranking, I'd say it gets like a 8.2 out of 10. There's still some flaws to it, but overall, I think it was a really fun experience to make, to rewatch, and to see your guys' reaction to. Also, it introduced Lemon Demony, which is like the best character, guys. Yeah, literally like best episode ever. That's stupid. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode of SSS Commentary. I hope you guys like this series and want me to do more. If you want me to just talk because I know some of you guys think my voice is quote-unquote sexy. I don't know how to prove that's true, but I've heard it before. So, if you like the series, say you like it and want more. Bye.